confidence, why some have it and some don't. Let's get into it. It's so funny that we're talking about confidence today because I started speaking on this episode about 5 or 6 times, and every time I would go to delete it, I would say, "Wow, I suck. But guess what? I'm still here. Oh gosh. Welcome back to Anxiety Makes Me Poop. It's just me. You're stuck with me and my voice for, 15, 20 minutes. Don't worry. We're going to get into something that some of us deal with at some point, and that is confidence. I just went through it. I kept trying. And I just kept saying, God, why do you suck? Just say what you want to say. I would stutter and all that fun stuff. So if you listen to The Clopen Effect, our retail podcast where Cass is on every week and we have guests, sometimes I just stutter. When I was younger, it caused a lot of problems. When I say younger, I'm putting that in quotes. That was like 15 years ago, and that's when I had problems with my thyroid. I noticed that if I didn't read a lot or if I didn't really use my brain too much in reading and listening and really concentrating, my thyroid would just make me stutter. Like my brain would try to tell my thyroid what to do, and my thyroid would go, nope, we're going to do this instead. And so I would have a hard time finding words. So it has gotten so much better because I listen to Audible a lot. I read a lot of books. I try to read a lot, even if it's on the computer. I'm a writer now, so I try to use my brain a little bit more so that I don't stutter as much. Because that's what I heard when I went to a confidence coach. That's what she told me, that sometimes people with thyroid diseases, which I had Graves' disease, and now my thyroid is dead because we used radiation, which is great. That sometimes when we want to say something, our brain is working faster than our voice can follow through on. And that's where sometimes the stuttering comes in. So it absolutely just happened to me just right now. And so I lost all self-esteem and confidence on doing this episode, but guess what? I'm going to do it anyways. Here we go. Okay, first things first. Where does confidence even come from? Because let's be real, some people walk into a room and it's like they own the place, while others maybe shrink into the background because they're just not fully confident to walk through. My thing, which I can do now, but my thing was I would never walk down the middle of a room with people all around, at a wedding, at an event, anything. Heck no, I would follow that line of the wall. Oh yeah, you would never see me walking through the middle of a room, because if I tripped and fell, or if someone called my name and I looked around and I couldn't find them, that is my biggest fear. It's almost like trying to find a seat at a huge event, like maybe a baseball game or football game, and you're looking around and people are calling your name because maybe they see you first, and you're kind of like looking over like, okay, I hear my voice, but I'm looking at my seats and I'm trying to find where they're at. Oh gosh, that's me. I hate it. Confidence was not strong back in the day. The truth is confidence isn't just something you're born with. It is built. Excuse me. And it usually comes from a mix of things. So first of all, let's talk about the root of confidence, which is support. If you grew up with people telling you, you got this, you can do this, you probably will leave it. If not, it's harder to build that belief in yourself if you didn't have that support when you were growing up. Experience. The more you do something, the better you get at it, the more confident that you'll feel on it. Think about something that you once started. Maybe in the past 10 years, you thought, okay, I'm going to learn this. And now all of a sudden, you know it, where people can reach out to you and say, hey, can you tell me about this? And you're like, yeah, I can. Think about that. 10 years ago, maybe you didn't do that. Maybe you were, I'm not really sure about that, but I'll do some research on it. But you did all the research and now you know all about it. It's experience. Mindset. Some people naturally believe that they can do things while others overthink, second guess, or talk themselves out of trying. Or how about failure and recovery? So funny enough, confidence doesn't come from never failing. So people with confidence, they fail. They have failed. Very rare that I've talked to people that said, well, I have a lot of confidence because I've never failed. No, it comes from failing and realizing that you survived. That's how resilience is built. Now let's talk about what destroys confidence, because there are plenty of things that chip away at it. We're just going to touch on a couple things. You probably, if you're listening because you looked up the word confidence, you may have a few more, but let's just talk about a few things. Criticism. If you grew up constantly being picked apart, if you still get constantly picked apart, that voice sticks with you. It becomes the soundtrack in your head, and it's really hard to speak out and let your brain know that this type of constantly being picked on, being picked apart, saying that you're wrong is not okay. And you got to retell yourself things, right? Retell yourself the positive things. How about comparison? Thank you, social media, for making us all feel like maybe we're not doing enough. We're not successful enough. We're not attractive enough, right? Don't do it. Don't do it. Shut it down if you're comparing yourself, because you are unique and you are amazing. Don't compare yourself to anyone. You can use social media to get some ideas, but don't compare yourself. I know it's hard. Perfectionism. If you think you have to be perfect before you start something, you may never start. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. And of course, the reason why we're here, let's not forget anxiety. Anxiety loves to tell us that we're not good enough, that we'll embarrass ourselves, that people are watching and judging. Who cares what people say? Who cares what people think? Who cares about the Judge Judys? Confidence doesn't mean never feeling nervous or self-conscious. It means doing things anyway, right? Tell your anxiety, I'm going to go do this anyways. I don't care what you tell me. If it's, being a cautionary tale, fine. Hey, this might happen. Just be prepared. This might happen. Just be prepared. Fine. Still start it anyways. Where does low self-esteem come from? If confidence is something that can be built, why do so many of us struggle with low self-esteem? Childhood experiences is number one. We're going to name a few of these, right? Again, if you were constantly criticized, if you were made to feel like you weren't good enough or weren't encouraged to take risks, it sticks with you in adulthood. So think about it. Were you constantly criticized? Maybe you got to talk yourself out of that. Society's expectations. Oh boy. Does society love making us feel like we aren't doing enough, aren't successful enough, aren't attractive enough? It's like a never-ending game of you should be better. Don't tell yourself that. Don't worry about society. Worry about you. And worry about what you're going to start today so that you're even better by next week or tomorrow. You can only be better today than you were yesterday, not anybody else. Who cares what society says? How about imposter syndrome? Do you ever feel like you're faking it and someone's going to find out and you have no idea what you're doing? Yeah, that totally happens to me all the time on the podcast, while writing, anything that we do with the Clopen effect, anxiety, anything, basically. All my books, books have been around for millions of years, thousands of years, whatever. Podcasts have been around forever. Yes, I felt like I was faking it, acting like I knew what I was doing. But remember that even the most successful people feel that way, because they had to have started somewhere. They have to start. So what's the secret? Everyone is kind of making things up as they go. And sometimes things hit great. Sometimes they don't. And that's okay, because then we try something different, right? And how about social media? Again, we're all just looking at highlight reels of other people's lives and thinking, wow, they have it all together. Spoiler alert. No, they don't. No, they don't. How to build unshakable confidence. Okay, now for the part that we actually care about. How do we build confidence? Do things scared. Yee! If we wait to feel confident before we try something, we might be waiting forever. Confidence comes from doing, not from waiting. The perfect example would be a runner. I have been in the running community for so long. I stepped away for the past couple of years. I've just been running on my own and with a friend on Fridays. It's been fabulous. I love it. There's no pressure. I do what I want to do every week. I put in the miles and that's it. I don't have to post about it. I don't tell anybody about it. I talk to my friend on Fridays. We have an amazing time every Friday morning. I love it. But how do you become confident to do a 5K? Or how do you become confident to run down to the stop sign and back if you've been a hiker and a walker? You just start. You just do. Right? And being in the running community for many, many years, I realized that a lot of people go, oh, I don't even know how you run half marathons or how you run marathons or ultra marathons. What did you even think about when you're running that 50K or that 100 miler? Or, I love 50Ks. 50Ks are my favorite. I always challenge myself in 50 miles, but 50Ks are my favorite. 22 miles is my absolute favorite around a lake up here. Love it. But guess what? Every time I go to start, I think, man, am I going to be able to finish this? And I just start. And whatever happens, happens, right? A friend of mine was so excited last year. She ran her first 5K. She started walking every day, and then she would just do a little slight 10-step jog every once in a while, and it was down a hill, just so she could feel what her body was going to feel like when she was running. Then all of a sudden it was, I'm going to do 20 steps, and then I'm going to run for a minute, and then I'm going to walk again, and then I'm going to run for 2 minutes, and I'm going to walk again. And guess what? She completed that 5K beautifully. So proud of her. So do things scared. Just do things scared. Just do it. Just get out there. Don't put, if you're uncomfortable putting yourself out to the extreme, 1/8 of it. Do a little bit scared. Like my friend, just kind of run down that hill and then walk again. Because you know what? The next time you're going to run down the hill and then you might keep going just a little bit more. And then you might just go a little bit more. Walk to rest. Walk when you need to, right? So picture any other goal as a slight jog, as a slight run, as 10 steps forward. Walk when you need to. Crawl if you have to, but keep moving forward. Do things scared. Stop waiting for perfection. No one is perfect. No one. They may tell you that they are because guess what? They have confidence and they don't have a low self-esteem. If you're waiting for perfection, you'll never start. So just don't let mistakes stop you. You make a little mistake, try it again. Or maybe you have to alter it a little bit, right? Oh, I learned from that mistake. Now I'm going to do something else. Stop waiting for perfection. Change your self-talk. Oh my goodness. Seriously, pay attention to how you talk to yourself. Would you say those things to a friend? No? Then why would you say them to yourself? I say things to myself that I would never say to my best friends, ever. Why? Why do I say it to myself? I would never tell Cass something. Some of the stuff that I say to myself, I would never tell her that. I would never tell my other bestie or I would never. Change your self-talk. Think to yourself, would I tell my best friend this? Would I tell my spouse this? Would I tell my kids this? No? Then why am I telling myself this? Don't do it. Don't do it. Acknowledge it and say something good to yourself. Surround yourself with the right people. Again, I've mentioned this. It took me a very long time, but I am surrounded by the right people. It's amazing. Now, I've made it that way, right? We all have to make it that way. I wasn't always surrounded by the right people. I am now, and I'm so happy about that. If you're around people who constantly make you doubt yourself, might be time to change. However you need to do that, it might be time to change. Celebrate small wins. I know you've heard it a million times. People say that, and you're like, well, how do I do that? Confidence grows when you recognize the little things you're doing right. Give yourself credit for showing up, for trying, for making progress. Weight loss is a perfect example, right? Nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to start a workout routine. Nobody, well, I should say many of us, right? It's always just like, all right, here we go, New Year's and all this kind of stuff, right? But guess what? If you just incorporate a little bit of health this week, you're going to feel better next week. Then you can celebrate a small win. Or it could be a big win, right? So confidence grows when you recognize the little things that you're doing right. You're feeding your body better. Maybe you did run down that hill on a 70 and sunny day, or guess what? Maybe it was 30 and rainy. Who cares? You still ran down the hill. Then you take a couple steps. Confidence, celebrate small wins. You can do it at the end of the day. Confidence isn't about never feeling doubt. It's about not letting that doubt stop you. All right, here's my challenge for you. Pick a hill to run down. Pick one thing this week that you've been holding back on because you don't feel confident enough to do it. And just try it. Just try it. Small little thing. Make that phone call. Make that text. Maybe it's speaking up in a meeting. Maybe it's eating a salad instead of a burger. Maybe it's choosing to go for a walk or go for a hike or run down that hill or sign up for that 5K and then set your plan. Maybe it's posting something that you've been thinking about or overthinking about, and you just need to get it off your chest. Maybe it's just finally signing up for that one thing. Hey, Second City in Chicago. You know how many people I've heard said, you know what, I finally just signed up and I did 5 minutes worth of comedy and I did it. I may never do it again, but I did it. And they can talk about it, right? Just sign up for that one thing that you want to do. And when that voice in your head tells you that you're not good enough, talk back to it. You are good enough. If it is in your mind that you want to do something, that you want to sign up for something, that you want to call someone, that you want to speak up in that meeting, your mind and your confidence is stronger than you think. When that little voice in your head tells you can't do it, talk back to it, say, yes, I can, and watch me. That's how you win. Small wins. You got this. Thank you for listening. As always, our numbers continue to increase every week. We are always in the green. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the emails. anxietymakesmepoop@gmail.com. Thank you for the comments. Thanks for being with us on our fun Facebook group. Oh my gosh, y'all are so fun. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're amazing. Talk to you next time.